Hey, what's up, people? So, what you're about to listen to is a Saturday morning conversation that I had over the phone with a friend of mine. I figured I would just press record because I felt like I was about to go on a cool rant, and I did. So, that here is on display for you guys. A little something to listen to on this Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, whatever fucking time zone you're in this flat earth. Hope you guys enjoy it. People say, "Oh, that's bad parenting. That's so mean." Why like I'm honestly, I would consider, like, as soon as they can understand what money is, and that if you work hard you get something in return. 4, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, I mean, I'm serious. I will incentivize and encourage them to work to make money. I'm not just gonna hand them toys and shit. Everything that they have, that they enjoy, they will have to earn it. And they're not just going to earn it because they were born. That's not enough, because that's not enough in the real world. In the real world, just being born isn't enough. Okay, fine. Maybe on your birthday, just being born is enough to throw a big fucking party. Because, I mean, what else are you celebrating on someone's birthday than the fact that they were born? And what did you do on your birthday? You didn't do shit on your birthday. Your mom gave birth to you. What did you do on your birthday? Why are you celebrating the fact that you were born? In many ways, you would think that birthday parties is more about the parent than it is about the child. Because again, what did you do to warrant a celebration on your birthday? Maybe your parent throw birthday parties because in their minds it's such a great accomplishment because they gave birth to you, and you are their pride in their eyes. You're their pride and joy. Maybe birthday parties are more about parents than it is about kids. But, yeah, I mean, you're just not going to be, just the mere fact that you're born is not going to be enough for you to warrant things in life. Obviously, I would care for my kids, take care of them, nurture them. But I would also am really worried about spoiling them, especially in an age where all you got to do is sit your kid in front of a TV, have them watch cartoons, drop them off at a public school so you don't have to think about them for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I would really want to create a system in their minds so that they understand from an early age that we live in a world of cause and effect, a physical world of cause and effect, consequences to your actions. It's definitely true that a lot of school is fucking pointless. Because you go in there and you don't really learn anything of value. A lot of people go to school for their whole lives. And it's very common that people will say, I don't remember anything I learned. And I don't think I'm ever going to use anything I learned in school. Now, obviously, there are things you learn. There's always little fun factoids like, ooh, when I was in 5th grade, I learned how many square miles the country of Russia is geographically. And that might have stuck in your head, but in terms of having, like, actual skills, because the whole point of school is to prepare you for a job. That's what everyone says everywhere always. It's about getting a job to make money in the future. But does school give you real skills to get a job? And a lot of people feel like it doesn't. A lot of people feel like, and I think the reason for that, part of it is because they're at the bottom. There's an economic totem pole, and there's people at the top, and then there's people at the bottom. And public schools is for people at the bottom. And sadly, I think a lot of parents, some of them probably know deep down, putting my kid into school for the next 18 years is probably not really good for my child. But they just do it anyways because, again, the only reason people go to school is to get money, is for a job in the future. And the whole job thing comes down to economics, and economics is hit or miss sometimes. I mean, not everyone is always going to, there's not always going to be a job for what everybody wants to do all the time. There's always going to be a certain number of unemployed people. You think we're going to have a world with zero unemployment? Like, that's just impossible unless we have some kind of zeitgeist economy, which I don't even know if that'll work, but we have some type of transcendent economic system where unemployment is impossible. But that seems to me that would require some type of central authority. And then when you have a central authority, who the fuck is the great grand genius who's going to run this whole thing? There is no great grand genius. When you realize that, you're probably like thinking, well, maybe it's just better that we have a spontaneous, individualistic economy where individuals scurry around trying to make their little piece of the pie, the economic pie, make their little money's worth to survive, and hope that in the end everyone somehow gets a job and everyone's somehow supported. There's always going to be a certain number of unemployed people, and I think that when you look at what the school system is, I would argue that the school system is an extension of the economic system. And the economic system is an extension of the biological reality of life on Earth. We're biological beings. We require a certain amount of energy to sustain ourselves throughout the day. If we don't get that energy, we start to get hungry, or we start to friggin' die of thirst, dehydration. So we have to put work in to get food and resources out. And the more food and resources you have, the more time and freedom and space you have to think about other shit. If you're spending your whole day just, cropping in the farm, trying to harvest some crops so you can feed yourself the following day, you're not going to have much time to do anything else. Luckily, we've kind of gotten to a point now with technology where machines are doing most of the basic stuff for us, so we have the time to twiddle our fucking thumbs and think about physics and fucking going to the moon or whatever. Going to the whatever. We have so much time on our hands for me to sit here and make videos like these and talk to random people all across the world on the internet who also have the free time to just sit here and listen to me. We have so much free time on our hands now. School, I would argue, is an extension of the economy. The economy is an extension of the biological reality of our lives here on planet Earth, in this solar system, in this universe. And school is supposed to be, I view school almost like a safety net. It's not designed to perfectly, it's just a general blanket there. And if you just throw your kids into that system, you're told that at some point later, the high school diploma will be of some value. And I think in a lot of cases, it's just completely worthless because the system became blind, it became automated, it was on autopilot. It wasn't thinking. People just said, just go through the motions, get the diploma, and then you're set and ready to go. And just life is not that easy. Life is not that simple. And school, in many ways, isn't that simple either. Not necessarily school, but learning things. You need to be passionately involved with what you're doing. I mean, the age of doing robotic, boring jobs is over because guess what? Robots are going to start doing those robotic, boring jobs. Robots are going to take those because that's the only thing robots can do that humans can transcend from. Humans can still do creative work. Robots can't really, can a robot, do an amazing work of art or create a music video or do an amazing short film? I don't know if robots can do that yet, but robots can stock shelves really well, So, school prepared us for boring shit. School prepared us for shit people weren't even passionate about. And passion is the thing robots don't have. Humans have passion. We have all this free time on our hands now, guys. And you better find something passionate to do with your time. What inspires your soul and your heart? Follow that. Because if there's one thing robots don't have, it's souls and hearts. And until fucking scientists and engineers find a way to program that into a robot, that's going to be your primary commodity. Alright? In an age where people have the time to just sit down on a Saturday morning and twiddle their thumbs and watch me rant in a video, in an age like this, you got to be able to provide the one thing that robots can't offer. And schools, they don't teach us to be passionately inspired by life. In fact, schools turn us into robots. Schools rob us of our passion. Schools turn us into dead, passive, uninspired heaps of biological flesh biological robots. Schools will make you hate your life, being forced to focus your mind onto things that don't inspire you. Being judged on your ability to perform well on a test that had nothing to do with what inspired you. The notion that sitting down and putting your head into the grindstone and focusing on something you fucking hate with a passion, and that you'd be judged, you'd be positively judged if you could force yourself to be a slave to things you hate. But if you can't force yourself to be a slave to things you hate, you are negatively judged, negatively reinforced with a big fat F. Big fat letter grade F. So yeah, a big fat letter grade F, and that kills the soul. It kills the heart. It kills the passion. It kills the one thing you have over the coming robot revolution. And that's your goddamn humanity. So you better cling to that shit. You better honor that shit. Alright, you better honor what inspires your soul, because that's all you got left. Alright, that's the only thing you got left to compete against the robots. Is your goddamn humanity. And that's going to be the real thing. Going forward, that's going to be the only real commodity. Really. I mean, when robots can do everything a human can do, the only thing only value you're going to have, bro, you're going to get out-competed in the fucking robot marketplace. All you have left is your humanity. I mean that figuratively, and I mean that literally. All you have left is your fucking humanity. Thank you guys for watching.